Hello, my friends. I'm Ed Ryan. I'm in the process of bringing Pop the Locks to South Carolina and seeking the compassionate release of hundreds of elderly inmates who would die in jail. But the problem is, it's a heavily Republican state. There used to be more Democrats in South Carolina. Right now, everybody from the governor on down to all the Congress except one is Republican. My friends, that is not right, given the fact that the Democrats have so much more to offer the people than the Republicans do. You know, we only have to go back as far as the New Deal to point to, our roots, saying, look, we deliver for the American people when they're in need, making sure they have good lives for them and their family. The Democrats do that. The Republicans don't. The Republicans take away, they hoard, they're selfish, and they don't really care about the problems of regular people. They're more concerned with making sure the billionaires get their huge tax breaks, even if it comes at the cost of people not having health insurance. And that's ridiculous. So I'm convinced that the message needs to get down to South Carolina. And I want to bring it. I want to bring it in the form of an exploratory campaign for president. Why? Because, friends, I believe I can be a great president for America. I have the ability, the knowledge, the experience, and the desire. I want to serve the people and make things better. And I'm willing to go to the root of the matters that count. I'm the one who's talking about making sure that we eliminate the billionaire class finally, so that there's enough capital around for other people to, partake in the American dream. I'm the one who's talking about an economy where there's money readily available for average Americans to do their thing, to invest and create and to go forward and grow and prosper. I'm talking about creating World Bank-like structures regionally here in America so that when people need to get their investment capital, they can go there and get it. And friends, I'm also talking about making sure that we have enough money in the economy so that everybody can prosper. Where the Republicans, they don't believe that. They're the ones who want to have little, stingy money policies. They're all about making sure we do everything we can to pay down deficit. Even though many economists say, hey, wait a second, there's a lot of countries in this world who are prospering very well with deficit spending. In other words, a country with a huge economy like America can run a deficit and still make sure that their people prosper and have the money available to advance in life. The Republicans aren't going to allow that to happen. They're just not going to do that, my friends. I'm also the one who's talking about, hey, look, the billionaires are about to really give us the shaft with their AI thing. You know what that does for them? It increases their profits and they have to do less hiring. They got more leisure. It's a win-win for them. But know what happens to us? Because it hoards electricity, our electric bills are going to they're already skyrocketing, but they're going to continue to skyrocket. It's going to get ridiculous. I'm the one who's saying, hey, wait a second. First, the people deserve free electricity, and then we'll worry about the AI thing. Why? Because, for the longest time, Americans have been paying into the utility system and over paying for the same thing. And it's about time that, they get something back for that. And I'm saying they can get free electricity. We can do what it takes to make that happen. And we can work that way towards food and other things. Other countries are doing this. Countries like England, France, Germany, they've nationalized their utilities. They're making sure that people don't have to pay electric bills over and over, water bills over and over. But here in America, because the billionaires have so much money in politics and are buying off basically the Congress and the president, they're able to make sure that everything comes at a profit. They have to have profit in order for their thing to work, because that's how they make their money. That's how they hoard their money. These billionaires have more money than they know what to do with. They're greed sick, and they need to be tamed. They need to be regulated and maybe put out of business. I'm saying this, my friends. America is now under the boot of the fascist billionaire class. These are the ones who are going around making sure that our democracy is totally ruined by making sure people like Trump become president and have his way as he deconstructs our government. Government is there to help people have better lives. He's taking it apart. And the billionaires are funding him to do that because they don't want that. They don't want regulation. They could care less about the people. What they want, because they have a fascist instinct, is they want a government that's totally under their control so that they can sidle up to it with their big corporations and businesses and then get huge, and I'm talking huge contracts from the government, mostly from the armament businesses. People make bombs and bullets and guns, and they'll invest in that, and they want to get money out of that. That means we're always going to be facing, the potential of war and fighting, because the billionaire oligarch class wants that. This is how they arrange things. This is how they keep profit going, and it goes that way in other countries too. The oligarch class is the class that always creates the need for war to protect their thing, their profits. And I'm saying we need to end that now in America. We're smarter than that. We're not going to be used anymore. Yes, people will always have a chance in America to do very well. There'll be plenty of income to capitalize businesses and go forward and grow and prosper and make the American dream. But what we need to stop now is the hoarding we see going on by the billionaire class. And what we really need to stop is the way the billionaires have gotten their hands into the political system to break it. They're the ones who got a hold of the Supreme Court and got them to pass Citizens United so that no longer could we regulate money that they could spend on political PACs that back issues. This gives a huge slush fund to any politician to do what they want if they do the bidding of the billionaire. Yeah, our Supreme Court gave it away. So I'm saying this, my friends, as we go forward. More important than my exploratory run for president, I'm also doing a slate, creating a slate, a national congressional slate, where working with other people, we're going to suggest the appropriate candidates to be elected, because we are really pushing for an en masse turnout for Democrats in 2026. And what we want is a 2/3 Congress, because that's going to help allow us to do what's essential to tame the billionaire class. We have to go to the Supreme Court and change that. Yeah, we need Congress and a president to do that. What are we going to do? Well, there's an act in 1790 that created the court. We can amend that and extend the court from 9 to 15 justices, and then allow the president in 2028, who's hopefully going to be a Democrat, to appoint the next 6 justices. So that finally, the court is fixed once and for all. It is out of the grasp of these greedy Republicans, out of the grasp of these fascist billionaires, and once again, it is a thing for the people, and that's what it's supposed to be. So we're going to fix things. It starts with a good Congress turnout, and then, of course, the president, and then the plan to go forward. And once we get our ducks in a row, we go and we fix the economy the way we need it. Again, without having enough money in the economy, there's not enough opportunity. I'm the guy who's going to make sure the whole thing works. These billionaires and Republicans are telling you lies about the money in financial system. I'm telling you this. Many countries use basically an easy or freer money supply system to make sure things work. If we don't do that, we strangle. People can't access the money to invest, to grow their businesses, to even pay their mortgages. And then things go down the drain. So, my friends, I hope you consider me as you look around at who's a viable candidate, but at the very least, please pay close attention to my plea that we have a mass turnout of Democrats and uh, uh, independents that are sympathetic, so that we finally get this Congress we need to change things. Because without that, we're stuck with the same old, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. This is the truth, my friends. Thank you for hearing me out. I'm Ed Ryan. Take it easy. Bye now.